What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training. And today we're going to be breaking down some routes from what I believe to be one of the best 12-year-old wide receivers across the country, Eric Macias out of Texas. So we're going to be taking a look at some of his routes and how a lot of the stuff that he does, even at such a young age, is something that you guys can apply to your game, and we can kind of compare and contrast how professionals would run routes and how he runs his routes. So I hope this video gives you guys some value, but also, fellas, since today is Memorial Day, we are having a special 50% off sale on our website on our Route Running Bible product. So what you'll get access to is a 2-week-long wide receiver on-field training schedule with over 50-plus drills mapped out with sets, repetitions, and it's how to improve your route running in 10 days specifically. And then you'll get access to a 50-minute-long video with 20 different press releases, when to use each one, and then drills to work on each one. So if that sounds like something that interests you guys, today only, it will be 50% off. So check out that very first link in the description below if you want to get access to that for half the price. Let's get started with this video. So now, this is going to be a post route here from Eric. Now, this is something that we talk a lot about, and it's not forcing your routes because of the side of like the break, right? So he's going to be running a post route here, and he's got an inside shade look from probably a bigger DB. He's only 12 years old, and he's going up against what it seems to be, you know, an 8th grade DB or a high school DB. So when he's hard inside shade like this, and you have to run a post route, a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll force the release. They'll try to cross in front of him. They'll try to reroute him, give him some kind of move to the outside and go inside. But we know that because this DB's lined up inside shade, he's not going to give up the inside shade. His sole purpose is to force him to the sideline, and because the sideline is his help. Now, what he does a great job of is attacking his leverage, giving him a move to the inside, taking the outside release, and giving some kind of move at the top. Probably could have restacked a little bit better, but for him to be able to do this and trust himself at the top of the route shows that he has a very high release and football IQ. Because when it comes to press releases, when it comes to man coverage, his sole purpose is to get hands, disrupt the timing, and disrupt the spacing. What a lot of guys will do is they will give a move outside, like I said, but when you force that inside release, he will not give it up. He's going to get hands on you. He's going to reroute you to the inside. And when it's not one-on-ones, when it's not t-shirt and shorts, when it actually matters, full 11-on-11 football, they're going to reroute you all the way to the middle of the field, and you're going to screw up spacing on the play. Now, what he does a great job of, though, is attacking the DB's leverage, giving a head fake to the inside, actually stepping outside of his frame, throwing his hips and shoulders into the break, because that's what will threaten the DB inside. And if we just take off, because again, you got to give him something to stay honest, because a lot of people will think, oh, well, he's inside shade. You said to take the outside release, they can just take off and run. But if we just take off and run, that's exactly what he wants me to do. He'll get hands on me, and he'll force me all the way to that sideline. You got to understand why a DB is playing a certain way and what he's trying to accomplish. So we have to keep him honest off the line. So that's what he does here. He gives him this move to the inside, holds this DB to the inside, and we don't even need to break his ankles. We just need him to hesitate. He does a great job of pushing back up vertical after that. Now, one thing I think he could have done a little bit better here is maybe restack a little bit tighter. And again, you see he's 12 years old. There's a lot of guys in the high school level, college level that do the exact same thing. This is a very, very advanced route for his age. Very, very impressed by this kid's route running. Now, when you get back over the top here, the reason why you want to restack is just because obviously you're running a post. If you kind of run this thing wide and you have a wider angle, and maybe we do get the DB to bite on it a little bit, we still got some ground to cover, and that can let him recover. But if you get back directly over the top and he is trailing your back hip, like instead of him being off to the left, he is directly over the top of him, that rocker step would have taken care of him. Easy work. But just make sure we're tight to that restack. But overall, off the line, very, very good job not forcing the release, taking what the DB gives him, and trusting himself at the top of the route. This is a perfect route. This maintains timing, and this maintains spacing that we need to be successful on a route like this. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. This is a great route here from Eric. Great job attacking the leverage, getting that DB to sit inside. And now we're going to take a look at 2 more routes that he runs throughout this course of the one-on-ones. So now, second route I want to take a look at is going to be a post corner route. So this is a great example of what we talk about on double moves. So again, this is why, you know, I really like this guy's route running when this video came across to me, because it shows a lot of the key things that we emphasize. It shows a lot of the things of double moves that we emphasize. Because if you know anything about our brand, about our page, this channel, when we talk about double moves, we say that eyes aren't the most important thing. They're important, and that's something that you could do. But if you're running a route like a post corner, when you break to that post, post, it is super important that you are running in full speed, full stride, because that's what makes it look like a post. And that's what he does here. So he's got inside shade look, and he's going to be running a post corner route. So let's play this thing full speed. So he does a good job attacking. When he breaks to the post here, you see how he's running very, very fast, running with full stride, just he doesn't sell with his eyes. That's the main key. But we know, based off of this and based off of what we talked about, this DB, when it's man coverage, where's he watching? He's watching hips. He's not supposed to be looking at your eyes. Yes, the eyes help. And I'm not saying look at the floor and it doesn't matter. It does matter. And if I was critiquing this route, I would say, hey, or if I was critiquing it to him, I'd be like, hey, make sure you're looking back to that quarterback. Make sure you snap those eyes. That's just like icing on the cake when you're trying to sell a double move. But you got to understand that DB is not going to bite. You could sell with your eyes all day long. You could look back to the quarterback all day long. But if you're taking choppy steps, you're not gaining ground, your hips and your shoulders are starting to drift out of the break upfield, that's not going to sell the route. You have to sell the route with speed, with stride, and with your body language. If you could do all of those things, the eyes are just the icing on the cake. That will get that DB to bite even more so. But if you can do speed, you can do stride, and you can do body language, that will get you separation on a double move. That goes for any kind of double move. It goes for a slant and go. It goes for an out and up. That first break right there, DBs are taught to expect a double move, or when they're expecting maybe a double move, or if a team likes to run a lot of double moves, look for the choppy steps. If he breaks on a slant and he's taking choppy steps, he changes his stride, he pops his chest up, that's going to make them sit on the route, and we're not going to get any separation. We have to be running in full stride, full speed, make it look exactly like that post route, that slant route, or that out route. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. One thing that I think maybe he could have done a little bit better is because you see how he's off the ball here. When he's off the ball, let me rewind this. When he's off the ball and he's got about 2 to 3 yards of space, we want to close the gap here. We don't want to make a move behind the line of scrimmage because that can just allow him to make a play. I think he's got natural speed that will help you run around DBs who are maybe a little bit slower than you. But when you have that space between the two of you, you have about 2 to 3 yards. You got to close that space because when it's time to restack, and I'm going up against a DB who's a very good athlete, faster than me, good technique, you have to be tight hip to hip when we work to restack. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job pushing back up vertical, getting back over the top, and selling that post with good stride, good body language, and good speed. So now, last clip I want to talk about here is this is going to also be a post route, but with an inside release. So we talk a lot about this also when you have like head-up coverage. When you got a DB who's right in front of you, he's maybe not shaded outside, he's not shaded inside. Sometimes you have to get a read on him. So what does that look like? What's a release I could do for that? It'd be called a split release, but we'll get to that another time. But when you have a guy who's head up, you could take the outside or the inside release. It kind of depends on what he does post-snap, right? So we talk, like, we get a lot of questions, what's inside shade, what's outside shade? So inside shade or inside leverage is when that DB's lined up shaded to the inside. He's maybe like your front foot, like let's say your right foot's up, the middle of his body will be even with your right foot. And then if he's outside shaded, it'll be like the middle of his body is even with your back foot. And then if he's head up, he's just head up. He's just mirroring you right in front of you. So if I'm running a post route, obviously, the easier way would be to take the inside release. So that should be your initial plan of action here. Now, he does a great job doing this. He gets pushed a little bit far inside, but he does a great job restacking. This is the kind of restack I would like to see on every single route. So let's play this thing full speed. So he gives a little move off the line, split release, dips the shoulder, gets back over the top, and then breaks this thing right off. That is textbook inside release. Now, when you get to right here, fellas, and you're able to take the inside release, kept timing with the quarterback, top of the route, you need to have a plan. So Eric does a great job of, restacking. Every single route, he's just been able to get over the top of the DB, give a move at the top, and be able to lose him. Now, we need to also have a plan for what if this DB plays it well. Because as a wide receiver, you obviously have a plan. We talk a lot about that. That's mainly what all our videos are about. How do you attack a certain leverage? How do you attack a certain look? Just to be able to keep timing with the QB. Now, what happens when that plan goes south? What happens when that plan doesn't necessarily work out the way we thought? We can't just quit on the route. We can't just change the route. We got to have a plan of action if the DB doesn't, or if the DB doesn't bite, the DB plays it well. So in this case, when we're over the top, what do you think you could do if this DB was hip to hip with him, had hands on him, was running vertical with him at that post break? What do you think you could do? You could lean into him a little bit. So my main goal should always be to restack. But if he's a little bit more physical, maybe a little bit more talented, he's right on his hip, you could do the exact same type of break. You would lean into him at the break point with your upper body, break it off the exact same way, but that lean is kind of a way of pushing off the DB without getting a flag for it. You're not extending, you're not pushing him in the back, you're just leaning with your torso, using your body language to break that off and run that post. Now, he doesn't need that. He's able to restack, he's able to sell with hips and with shoulders because that's where that DB is going to be watching, and that's what's going to get him to be off of this thing. But we always have to have that plan of action, fellas, especially at his age, right? He's probably a very, very good athlete for his age. It's clear he's a good athlete for his age. But if you're that younger guy and you think that you're playing well and you think that you're just dominating everybody in your competition, there's always going to be a guy bigger. There's always going to be a guy faster. So we need to have these plans, or we need to have this tool belt. I have to have plenty of things on my tool belt to work. So when that moment comes where that guy's got good technique, he's disciplined, I can beat that guy. I'm not trying to get you ready for a bad DB. I'm trying to get you ready for a DB who knows what he's doing. He's a good athlete. Maybe he's a little bit bigger than us, and we have a plan of action going towards that. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job here by Eric, restacking, using his body to get back over the top and getting skinny on this post route. Great routes from this kid. I know he's going to have a ton of success in the future, and I'm really impressed by the way he moves, and I think we all, no matter what level you're at, can learn a couple things or learn a thing or two from the way he moves. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, 50% off today only, Memorial Day sale for our Route Running Bible. You'll get access to a 2-week-long wide receiver training schedule with over 50+ drills and a 50-minute video breaking down 20 different press releases, when to use it, and drills to work on each one. Half off, 50% off. Check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.